Hello everybody, welcome back to the Tutoring Pros channel. In this video we're going to be going over some GED math problems. I encourage you to pause the video and try some of these questions on your own first and then see if you get the answer right. With that said, we'll get started with number 1. 11 yards, 6 feet, and 4 inches equals to how many inches? First, we're going to figure out how many feet this is. 11 yards. Each yard is 3 feet, so 11 times 3 is going to be 33, and then plus 6 feet is 39. Next, since we have 39 feet and 4 inches, we're going to turn the number of feet into inches. There's 12 inches in a foot, so we're going to multiply 39 by 12. 39 times 12 comes out to 468, and then we're going to add 4 to that to give us 472. So in total there's 472 inches. Number 2, 5 less than twice a positive integer is 83. What is the integer? Whenever you're trying to turn words into math and you see 5 less than, that's going to be minus 5, and whatever comes right after that is going to come before the minus sign. So twice a positive integer, that's going to be 2 times x minus 5 is 83, so equals 83. First, we're going to add 5 on both sides to give us 2x equals 88. Then we're going to divide each side by 2. 88 divided by 2 is 44, which is our answer. Number 3, a shirt costs $200, is discounted 15%. After a month, the shirt is discounted another 15%. Which of the following expressions can be used to find the selling price of the shirt? So since there's a 15% discount, that means that we would be paying 85% of the total cost. 100% minus 15% is 85%. And since we would apply a 15% discount 2 times, we would be multiplying by 85% 2 times. That would come out to be 200 times 0.85 times 0.85, which is answer D. Number 4, which of the following points lies on the line 2x plus 4y equals 10? Whenever we have an ordered pair, the first number represents x and the second number represents y. What we're going to do for this question is plug in each of the values to see if the equation makes sense. First, we're going to plug in 2, 1. That means that x is 2 and y is 1. And we're going to plug that in. 2 times 2 plus 4 times 1 equals 10. And we're going to see if this ends up being true. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 4 times 1 is 4, and that's going to equal 10. 4 plus 4 is 8, equals 10. As you can see, this is not true. Next, we're going to try negative 1, 3. We'll put that down here. 2 times negative 1 plus 4 times 3 equals 10. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. 4 times 3 is 12. And negative 2 plus 12 is 10. So the answer ends up being B. If you try C and D, you're going to get a false statement like we did for answer A. For number 5, we have to simplify the expression 5 plus 8 times negative 2 minus 4 plus 22 times 5 divided by 6. First, we're going to deal with what's inside of the parentheses. And within the parentheses, we have to follow PEMDAS. So the first thing that we're going to do inside the parentheses is multiply 22 times 5. 22 times 5 is 110 divided by 6. We're going to continue by simplifying the inside of the parentheses. 5 plus 8 times negative 2 minus 4 plus 110 is 114 divided by 6. Then we're going to do multiplication and division from left to right. That's going to be 5 plus 10 times negative 2 is negative 16. So we're going to write minus 16 minus 114 divided by 6 is 19. Then we combine all of these by subtracting. 5 minus 16 is negative 11. Negative 11 minus 19 is negative 30. Starting with number 6, we've entered the calculator portion of the exam. The price of a car was $20,000 in 2014, $16,000 in 2015, and $12,800 in 2016. What is the rate of depreciation of the price of the car per year? So in order to find the rate of depreciation, we are going to find the slope between two of these points. The year should come first, so 2014 and 20,000. And the second point is going to be 2015 and 16,000. So we're going to plug in these points. It's going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And remember, the first part of an ordered pair is our x, the second part is our y. So if we plug in these values into the equation, we're going to get 16,000 minus 20,000 over 2015 minus 2014. This is going to end up as 16,000 minus 20,000, which is negative 4,000 divided by 1, which is negative 4,000. And the last part here is to divide this negative 4,000 by the original price of the car, which is 20,000. So negative 4,000 divided by 20,000 gives us negative 0.20 or negative 20%, which ends up being B. Number 7, the width of a box is 1/3 of its length. The height of a box is 1/3 of its width. If the length of the box is 27, what is the volume of the box? So it says the width of the box is 1/3 of its length. So since the length is 27 and the width is 1/3 of the length, that means it's going to be 1/3 of 27. 27 divided by 3 is 9. Next it says the height of the box is 1/3 of its width. So that means that the height is going to be 1/3 of the width, or the height is going to be 1/3 of 9, which will be 3. The question finally asks, what is the volume of the box? We know that volume is length times width times height, which is 27 times 9 times 3. And if you use a calculator to multiply all these numbers together, we're going to get 729 centimeters cubed, which will be D. Number 8. If 60% of A is 20% of B, then B is what percent of A? We're going to turn these percentages into decimals. That's going to be 0.6 times A equals 0.2 times B. And the question asks, then B is what percent of A? So B is what percent, that's the question, of A. So in order to get this format, we have to try to get B by itself. The way we get B by itself is by dividing by 0.2 on each side. And we will end up with 0.6 divided by 0.2 times A equals B. 0.6 divided by 0.2 is going to be 3A, which is equal to B. And if we turn this 3 into a percent, that would be 300%. Number 9. How many possible outfit combinations come from 6 shirts, 3 slacks, and 5 ties? Whenever we're trying to find the total number of combinations, you have to have a slot for each entry, in this case, for each article of clothing. So the first one will be shirts, the second one will be slacks, and the third one will be ties. You're going to write the total number available for each of these sections. There's 6 shirts available, there's 3 slacks available, and there's 5 ties available. Last, to find the total number of combinations, you have to multiply these numbers together. 6 times 5 is 30, 30 times 3 is 90. So there's a total of 90 different combinations between 6 shirts, 3 slacks, and 5 ties. Number 10. If a ladder leans against a wall, forming a 60-degree angle between the ground and the ladder, if the bottom of the ladder is 30 feet away from the wall, how long is the ladder? So we have a ladder leaning against a wall, forming a 60-degree angle with the ground. It says that the bottom of the ladder is 30 feet away from the wall, and we want to figure out what the length of the ladder is. Whenever you have a triangle, you have one angle and you have 2 sides, one of them missing. This is usually going to be a trigonometric question. So what comes to mind should be SOHCAHTOA. And if we're looking from the perspective of the angle, we have the hypotenuse, which is the side that we're looking for, and we have the adjacent side. So if we look for which trig function has an adjacent and hypotenuse, that's going to be cosine. So cosine of our angle, which is 60, is going to be equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. To get x by itself, first we're going to multiply by x on each side. So x times cosine of 60 equals 30. And then to get x by itself, we have to divide by cosine 60 on each side, which gives us 30 over cosine of 60. And we're going to plug this into our calculator to see what we get. Let's try that one more time. You have to make sure that your calculator is in degrees mode. So 30 divided by cosine of 60 gives us 60. So the length of the ladder is 60 feet. Number 11. When a number is subtracted from 24 and the difference is divided by that number, the result is 3. What is the value of the number? So we're going to read that first sentence again to write the equation. When a number is subtracted from 24, so 24 minus x, and the difference is divided by that number, divided by x, the result is 3, so equals 3. What is the value of the number, or what is x? First, we're going to multiply by x on each side. That's going to give us 24 minus x equals 3x. Then we can add x to both sides to get 24 equals 4x. And then finally, to get x by itself, we divide each side by 4 to get x equals 6. An angle is equal to 1/5 of its supplement. What is the measure of that angle? So what it means for two angles to be supplements of each other means that when you add them together, you get 180. So if 1/5 of an angle, 1/5 of x plus that angle are supplements, that means that they add up to 180. Since this is 1, we can rewrite this as 1 over 5x plus 5 over 5x equals 180. 1 over 5x plus 5 over 5x is 6 over 5x equals 180. And we can multiply by the reciprocal on each side. And this will give us x equals 180 divided by 6 is 30. 30 times 5 is 150. Okay, so that's not the actual answer. They're looking for the angle that's 1/5 of its supplement. So since x is 150, we can divide that by 5 or find 1/5 of it to find the measure of the angle they're referring to, which ends up being 30. John traveled 150 kilometers in 6 hours and Alice traveled 180 kilometers in 4 hours. What is the ratio of the average speed of John to the average speed of Alice? First, we need to find the average speed of John. So average speed for John is going to be 150 kilometers divided by 6 hours. 150 divided by 6 is 25 kilometers per hour. Next, we're going to find the average speed for Alice. That's going to be 180 kilometers divided by 4 hours. 180 kilometers divided by 4 hours comes out to 45 kilometers per hour. Last, we need to find a ratio between those two numbers. The ratio between John to Alice, that's going to be 25 to 45. And we can divide both of those numbers by 5 to get 5 to 9 as the ratio. If 40% of a class are girls and 25% of girls play tennis, what percent of the class plays tennis? What we have to do is multiply the two percentages together. 40% of the class are girls and 25% of the girls play tennis. And if you multiply 0.4 by 0.25, we get 0.1, which is the same as 10%. Number 15, what is the value of y in the following system of equation? In order to get y, we're going to use a method called elimination. We're going to do that by multiplying the bottom equation by 3 so that we can eliminate x. If we multiply the bottom equation by 3, we'll have negative 3x plus 6y equals 30. And then we're going to add the two equations together. The first one and the last one. 3x minus 3x is 0. The x cancels out. Negative 4y plus 6y is going to be 2y. And then negative 20 plus 30 is 10. And in order to get y by itself, we divide both sides by 2. And we're going to get that y equals 5. If you learned something new in this video, make sure that you hit the like button, Subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so that you're kept up with all of our future videos. And if you're looking for one-on-one tutoring, check out the link in the description. I'll see you in the next one.